Hello, hello, hello. Hey insiders, I'm back to chat with y'all about what the has been going on this week because y'all know it's been crazy. These 4 stories that dropped, they all are connected in the same thread. This is about the soul of America, who has the power, who doesn't. It's a lot. A late night host show got canceled after he criticized the president. A reality TV star is out raising a sitting mayor in LA. The federal government basically told Yale that they had too many black and brown students. And our girl Kamala got on an emergency call with black women to try to spur up some revolution because we really need it right now. Let's talk about all this craziness. So as y'all know, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert is ending, and the timeline around the cancellation is suspicious. We're gonna call it suspicious. So let me explain what happened. CBS's parent company needed FCC/federal government approval for its merger with Skydance. The FCC, of course, is run by President Trump appointee. In July 2025, Colbert called Paramount's $16 million settlement of Trump's lawsuit against CBS a big fat bribe. 3 days later, show was canceled. Then what happened after that? The FCC approved the merger. Now, what also makes this tricky is that Skydance's CEO met with the FCC chair 2 days before the cancellation was announced. The FCC chair then went on the news, said that the merger was done and celebrated Colbert's firing. Now, Paramount says the merger was just a financial decision. Maybe it was, but it's not looking like that. But Trump celebrated Colbert's firing. And he said that Jimmy Kimmel is gonna be next, y'all. Now here's another wrinkle to this. Y'all know Jimmy Kimmel and Donald Trump have beef. The FCC launched a formal challenge to ABC's broadcast licenses right after Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about Donald Trump. All of this is super, super dangerous. When the government controls the licenses of the companies that control what you see and hear, and the president is publicly celebrating the removal of his critics, that is a threat to free press and free speech. Since we're on the subject of the media, let's talk about something that sounds like a joke. A reality TV villain is polling second for mayor of the second largest city of America, Los Angeles. He's running the same playbook as President Trump, so this is really dangerous. Spencer Pratt, yes, the Spencer Pratt, the villain from that show, The Hills. I never even watched the show and I'm a reality TV girly, but I guess the people know who this man is. He is running to unseat Democratic Mayor Karen Bass in LA. And allegedly, he signed a deal to film a documentary about his run. What kind of mess is that? Is this politics or is it theater? Now, what gets dangerous about this is, according to the latest filings, Pratt raised $543,000 since January, while Karen Bass has not raised as much in the same amount of time. Now, the good thing is that she has more cash on hand than him, but still, the fact that he was able to raise more money than her during any period of time is bananas. Because can't nobody tell me what qualifications this man has to be the mayor of LA. I am more qualified than him. Political scientists are saying he's actually a viable candidate because polls are showing that he is in second place. And he's also getting endorsements from Trump's people. So y'all already see the comparisons to Trump here. Former reality TV star with not one lick of political experience, running on populist anger. He has been also making these crazy ass AI videos, just like y'all's President Trump likes to do. And the base just loves it. His campaign has called Karen Bass Karen Basura, which means trash in Spanish. And his AI ads have millions of views. Y'all, this is the Trump playbook and we are seeing it again. I just hope that we don't keep seeing these little knockoff wannabe Trumps popping up in different cities around the country. I still have my hopes out that this man is not going to win this election. But if he does, America is heading in the wrong direction. And we've already been heading in that direction since the election of President Trump. But we were hoping that Trump was an anomaly. It's not looking like that. Now, there is some hope here, some legitimate hope. LA has not elected a Republican mayor since 2001, and Democrats outnumber Republicans in the city. But the fact that he is able to raise so much money and is considered to be in second place in a Democratic stronghold like California is something that we should be paying attention to. So now that we've talked about President Trump, little knockoff in California, let's talk about what President Trump and his people are actually trying to do now. The Department of Justice sent Yale Medical School a formal letter alleging that they are discriminating against white and Asian applicants because they are letting too many black and brown students in. You know, it's so funny because when you look at admission rates of PWIs, especially grad schools, it ain't never been too many black and brown students. It's never been enough black and brown students, but suddenly white students and Asian students aren't getting the seats that they want, so now they're being discriminated against. Please. How many brown doctors have y'all seen? I go out of my way to try to find black doctors. And I live in DC, Chocolate City, where Howard is. And it's still hard for me to find a black doctor. Imagine. Oh. Anyway, let me explain what an accusation letter really means. It's not a lawsuit. It's not a finding of guilt. It's just a notice from the federal government basically saying, we think you've been doing something illegal. That illegal thing that they think that Yale is doing is violating, drumroll, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 by admitting black and brown students. The Civil Rights Act bans race discrimination by institutions that are receiving federal funding. Basically, the Trump administration hit Yale with the Uno reverse card. You said, you thought this Civil Rights Act was to protect underrepresented communities? Actually, no, we're gonna use it to harm them even further because that's what they do. The letter gives Yale a chance to enter into a voluntary resolution agreement. Basically saying if y'all change y'all behavior and stop admitting all these Negroes and brown people, then y'all gonna be good. DOJ is saying that if your student body looks too diverse, that alone is evidence of discrimination and we gonna come after you. The federal government is trying to get graduate schools and universities and institutions of higher education all across the country to be afraid to admit black and brown students because they don't want to face scrutiny or lawsuits from the federal government. So that's where we are, y'all. And while all of this is going on, we all know what just happened. The Supreme Court just gutted the Voting Rights Act. But shout out to our girl Kamala, who just raised a flag and a call to action for Democrats, liberals, anybody who stands for liberty and justice for all. Is that still a thing? Kamala Harris joined an emergency call with Win with Black Women, which is an organization of grassroots leaders and organizers. And she also spoke with the progressive nonprofit Emerge. This is all in response to the ghetto mess that the Supreme Court is doing right now. She said, and I quote, that the Supreme Court is backdooring racism through politics. You better come on, you better talk that stuff, Kamala, because we need to hear it, okay? Say it plain for the people. Now, after she explained to us what the Supreme Court is really doing, she gave us a full plan, a play-by-play, what we need to be doing. She said, which is not actually an uncommon idea, that we need to expand the Supreme Court, that Supreme Court justices should have 18-year term limits. She also said that blue states should be drawing their maps aggressively. Just like how the red states in the South are redrawing their congressional maps, blue states need to be doing the same thing. And I really like this. She said that we need to hold justices accountable for what they say under oath during confirmation hearings. Because they be talking about how they're going to uphold the law. Child, please, this Supreme Court don't care nothing about precedent, nothing about the rule of law. All they care about is how they can uplift and uphold white supremacy and President Trump's agenda. And to add a little bit more pizzazz on what Kamala said, she named Supreme Court Justices Kavanaugh and Barrett while she was talking. She said, I'm gonna put a name on it, okay? Now, I don't know about how this can be implemented now with the current Congress that we have, but there might be some ways. But let me tell you why these ideas actually make a lot of sense. Harris is trying to signal what a 2028 platform should actually look like. And I think after seeing all of the destruction of the Republicans and Trump and his people, this is something that the next Democratic presidential candidate should actually be taken seriously. We can't go back to the times where we're trying to play nice and reach across the aisle and work with our partners and blah, blah, blah. No. Do you think they care about you? They are literally trying to kill us. And I'm not even saying that to be funny, like ICE, healthcare, sending us to war. We cannot afford housing. All of this, and I'm not even, child, the list goes on. All of the things that I just said and more are violence, direct violence against the American people. And you know, the funny thing about this is, now you haven't got me on my soapbox. The funny thing about this is, all of the terrible mess that President Trump is doing does not only impact Black people or Mexican people or whoever else the racist maggots are trying to target. These things harm everybody. Everybody. Don't you realize that gas prices are going up for you too? Don't you realize that if medical schools can't admit Black and brown people, then we're going to have less doctors? And y'all already complaining about wait times and how you can't find a good doctor and how you want to have more options. But now you only want there to be white doctors and Asian doctors. You want two whole races of people to be completely uneducated. Do you know how much harm that will do to the country and how much talent would be wasted? These conservatives, they don't think. The only thing they care about is racism. They don't care about their pockets. They don't care about their families, their uteruses. They don't care about none of that stuff. If they know it can hurt a Black person,
they say, yeah, go ahead and go for it. I don't care if it's hurting me too. I don't care if I live in a food desert and if my hospital is going to close down. Hey, as long as Devontae can't go, I don't care.
Anyway, child, I just gave y'all 4 stories about the soul of America that we are trying to save. Well, actually, I don't even know if I should say save, because have we ever really had a soul for real? Anyway, I'm NRTheInsider. Thank y'all for watching this week's video. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. It's getting crazy out here, but you know, I'm gonna keep fighting.